Well, the idea behind the steel for the curtain wall for these fire forms goes back to the notion of fire and lines of fire, and that I wanted these walls to be as thin as possible. Fire is ephemeral; it's really kind of a gas. So I had worked on two projects where there were big glass walls, and the way those are often detailed is there's a steel structure that supports the roof, and then there is a curtain wall or another glass system that is kind of braced back to that steel. I didn't want to do that here. I didn't want to see big columns, sitting behind a curtain wall. It wouldn't have had the same effect. So I thought, well, if the wall itself were structural, if the wall could support the roof and support the glass, then you would kind of combine those two systems into one. So that's what I did. I looked to a company that produced stainless steel mullions, thinking that could maybe support the roof as well as the glass. And they were very tentative about it. They didn't seem interested to engage in that discussion. So I said, okay, if I want this to happen, if I want to do something different, which I feel is more appropriate to the concept, I need to figure it out myself. So I came up with the idea of just using standard tube and channel sections. These are all standard steel sections that would be sized appropriately, hopefully as small as possible, but that's where the structural engineer came in. And so I sketched up this detail, basically this exact detail of a tube with a channel that was welded to it. And then the glass can come in a veneer system. So it's basically, there's just a thin aluminum plate that's part of the glass system that's secured to the steel. And then the glass with silicone sealant is adhered to that plate. So it's a very thin system. I mean, this is the wall. This is it. This is holding up the roof. So I drew up these details. He said, yeah, it works. So, so we went with it. And I think this space would not feel this way if this did not happen. So I think it's a very important feature of the design that these walls feel as thin as they do. And the dimension of them started from the dimension of the original metal panels, which we changed, but I kept this dimension. What I kind of liked about it is that you could fit you could fit between them. And kids, this museum is also for kids, and kids, I want people to engage with the architecture, and I think kids do. They can hang from these, and they can stand right in there, and it's their own little space. And so I think it worked.